is up here. So I'll be passing out tenor saxes at the gate, so you can. Anyway, thank you, Tim, and Tim just alters the emotional makeup of any party, and just like he did in the Lost Boys. And so now that everybody's charged up, I got to ask this question: who still believes? Now I got to ask this question: who still believes in Halloween 3? Of course, we have the number one believer in Halloween 3 with us tonight. This is all her doing. Welcome to Darcy, the Mail Girl. Darcy has conspired for months, if not years, to humiliate me for the various times I have condemned Halloween 3 as an abomination. But tonight, she has outdone herself. What? You want to play something? Okay. Can you hear Darcy? Okay. Do you have a mic on? Okay. All right.
Oh, that'll work.
Okay. Well, Darcy just said that she wants to do a little something. I know it's Darcy Throwdown night, but let's introduce the guests, and then we'll do that. All right?
Okay. Sorry.
Let's introduce the guests first.
Okay. Can we do that? They're not doing it. All right, I have a video that's supposed to play right now, so whatever. If y'all want to do that, that's awesome. Yeah, let's do the video. Basically, you're fucking busted. Let's show the clips. That's all you need to know.
All right.
What? Yes, I do. So many receipts.
All right. What do you got?
It's
Go
the
ahead.
first night.
All right.
Okay, I really want people to know just how mean and ridiculous you've been about this, for years. Hit it, Austin!
What is it? What are you doing?
It's just a little video, and then you can ramble on. Hit it! Yeah! So how you been? How's the weather treating you?
What? Where's the video?
They're working on it. We got tech difficulties.
I'm game for it. Go ahead.
Well, it's tech difficulties. It's not your permission we're waiting on.
Well, either play the video or I'm going to continue to talk.
Sorry, y'all. Love you back.
All right. I don't think anybody needs to be educated.
We need the video. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think anybody needs to be educated in my opinions about Halloween 3. So
I feel like they need to understand your intense level of hatred for this movie for 40 years. You haven't given it another shot.
They've now turned on your mic and turned off my mic. And so,
okay.
So
Darcy, take over night, baby.
So I can't defend myself. So. All right. Austin, are you going to play a video?
I mean, we can skip the video if you want. Soon Capella want to come out again? Where's it even?
All right. So
there it is.
There was no video documentation of what was going on.
Yes. Never have you said anything bad about it on camera. Austin! 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 Well, if that doesn't work, nothing will. Hogzilla! Hogzilla! Hogzilla!
I would rather be watching Hogzilla right now
I feel like we all would.
than waiting on the humiliation video.
You got it?
Ask me if I'm happy about this. One movie I hated was that Halloween 3.
That's it?
No. Still having technical difficulties. But look how handsome you are. That's adorable. Oh, there's me.
That was the video?
No! It was just one part of the video. I mean, literally, we can skip it. It's fine.
Yeah. Austin, if
Skip
you want
it.
to skip the video. What?
play it at the next break. Keep going.
Okay.
Is your mic working?
All right. Well, for those of you who don't know this, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
For those of you who don't know this already, Darcy was allowed to program the first night of the Jamboree. And of course, we all know what movie she chose. But that wasn't enough for her. You know, joining her to pummel me into absolute submission are the stars of Halloween 3, Tom Atkins, Stacey Nelkin, as well as the writer-director of Halloween 3, Tommy Lee Wallace. But Darcy, I think you owe me one last chance to make my case.
I think you've had 40 years to make your case, but go ahead, and we will take a vote later.
You'll take a vote?
Yep.
What kind of vote?
At the end of the screening, the audience is going to vote thumbs up or thumbs down, and if you lose, you're putting on the exploding pumpkin head.
You're going to explode my head if I lose?
That is the least you can do for all those years of
That
Halloween
seems
3
a little
hate.
harsh.
Oh, you deserve it, my friend.
Okay. Okay, Darcy, we'll deal with that later. Right now, I want to explain the background here. The starting point is John Carpenter's Halloween, 1978. Very simple story, extremely well told, maybe low budget, but ultimately Halloween was a product of the Hollywood system, made in Southern California by young filmmakers who would go on to be part of the Hollywood establishment. And it's so cleverly made that it becomes a runaway mainstream hit. And John Carpenter was a graduate of the University of Southern California Film School, best school in the country for film. And Halloween was his third film. And he was working with all these young Hollywood professionals like Dean Cundy, the cinematographer, who would go on to be one of Hollywood's most in-demand camera guys. In fact, he shot the movie we're going to watch in a few moments here. He shot Halloween 3. But at the time, Dean Cundy was known only for ultra-low-budget stuff like Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks, which I recommend, by the way, and Satan's Cheerleaders, and a couple of the more interesting black exploitation movies. So one reason that Halloween was more popular than other horror movies that came earlier, like Night of the Living Dead, is that it had that Hollywood shine on it, right? I've talked about this before. Most horror movies of that era, were didn't have that Hollywood shine, right? So I forgot.
You're distracted by your mic, aren't you?
No, I forgot what I was going to say. Most Hollywood horror movies of the era, the East Coast and the West Coast were made by independents, and so they had this grainy, shaky cam quality that scared people. And so you might think, well, that's good. They're horror movies. They should scare people. But they scared people in such a way that people in the suburbs were afraid to go into the grindhouse theaters to see them, or in the South to go to the drive-ins to see them. So, because both of those were considered seedy places that didn't have the appeal that they would have today. The two most famous indie horror films prior to Halloween were Night of the Living Dead, made by unknowns in Pittsburgh, and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was made by unknowns in Austin, Texas. And definitely outside the system, fighting for every ticket they sold. And Halloween was booked into your neighborhood multiplex. It premiered in Kansas City. How white bread can you get? And so it promised an evening of controlled terror. You could be sure that even though it was about a maniac, it was not made by a maniac because it had that Dean Cundy glow. So my point is, Halloween was revolutionary when it came to mainstream horror. And you know what the word revolutionary means in Hollywood? It means millions of extra dollars. So you had this movie that just killed the market, and attached to it were these big shot producers like Irwin Yablans and Mustafa Akkad. And so what happens when guys like Irwin Yablans and Mustafa Akkad make millions of dollars? You know what happens? They order another movie with the same name. And John Carpenter says, okay, I'll do a sequel. Now, let me talk about various things John Carpenter could have chosen to do before he produced Halloween 2. He could have done spin-offs from the original Halloween. He could have done a series of films with Michael Myers in the title. The Return of Michael Myers, The Curse of Michael Myers, Michael Myers Eats Cleveland, Michael Myers Kills Abbott and Costello, Michael Myers Goes to Rome with Gidget, Michael Myers Scared Stupid, Michael Myers Butchers Francis the Talking Mule, whatever. You get the idea. There's a whole world of Michael Myers movies, a new Michael Myers movie every year. And then maybe Jamie Lee Curtis has her own spin-off series, the Laurie Strode movies. Laurie Strode gets reconstructive ACL surgery. Laurie Strode goes to college. Laurie Strode becomes a counselor for post-traumatic stress syndrome patients. Laurie Strode passes the Equal Rights Amendment. I don't know. But on October 31st every year, you would also have the new John Carpenter Halloween movie. He doesn't have to direct it. He can just executive produce it, but he's like the Steven Spielberg of horror. And the first one is after Halloween. The first one is Halloween Season of the Witch. And the second one is Halloween Invasion of the Alien Gremlins. And the third one is Halloween Psychopath Beach Party. And they're all different. But everybody wants to see them because they saw that first one in 1978. And in fact, and it was so good that there were all those spin-offs. Are you following this? There were the Michael Myers spin-offs, like, you know, Michael Myers has sex with Emmanuel or whatever. And then there were the Laurie Strode spin-offs, like Laurie Strode's Trailer Park Makeover or whatever. And then maybe there are even Dr. Loomis spin-offs, you know, like Dr. Loomis in the Land of the Creepy Brits. You know, you have all the Brits, Donald Pleasance, Peter Cushing, Nicole Williamson. You could just put all those London motherfuckers in the same movie. But that's not what John Carpenter does, is it? He thinks about it, he struggles with it, and he decides, okay, Halloween 2 starts right after Halloween 1 in real time. And it has the same characters, Laurie Strode, Michael Myers, and it takes place in the same town, Haddonfield, Illinois. And Halloween 2 comes out and it makes $26 million, which for a horror film in 1981 was a blockbuster number. And actually Halloween 2 to this day has an 88 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a very popular film. So now it's time for Halloween 3. And John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the producers, tell their money backers this time they're going to go in a different direction. They are going to make a new Halloween movie every year, but it's going to be an anthology series in which no one movie has anything to do with the other movie, or the movie before it, or the movie after it. Great idea, but too late! You do that on the second one, not the third one. By doing the second one before you do that, you have now lost the opportunity to do a Michael Myers spin-off series, because now Michael Myers movies have to have the word Halloween in the title. You have given up your rights to the word Halloween. You have lost the opportunity to do a Laurie Strode series, because now Laurie Strode can only be in movies called Halloween something. You know, why not do Season of the Witch in 1981 instead of 1982? Then we would also have Tom Atkins spin-offs, Dr. Chalice at Stonehenge, the next chapter, you know, Dr. Chalice against the Druid army, you know, Dr. Chalice in space. But if you make the exact same movie twice and then say, hey, we're starting an anthology, people go, what the fuck, exploding mask, my ass, get out of my face with this Irish weenie. All right, sorry to get emotional. We can move on now to the drive-in totals, and at the first break, I will introduce my esteemed guests, and they can beat me to a pulp and explode my head. All right, we have 22 dead bodies, 3 breasts. 22 dead bodies, 3 breasts. Run the drive-in totals. 2 butox, 1 fist fight with yellow goo stomach extraction, 17,000 mesmerizing flashing pumpkins, motor vehicle body crushing, eye socket thumb gouging, suicidal motor vehicle explosion, power drill through the ear, child face disintegration with cockroaches and snakes, exploding factory, 3 foot chases, aardvarking, Neolithic ritual rock theft, wino head ripping, multiple mouth bugs, mechanical Betsy Ross head removal, gratuitous thunderstorm, gratuitous mechanical toy museum, heads roll, arm rolls, Thorazine foo, latex foo, Stonehenge foo, blue lightning laser foo, rattlesnake foo, tire iron foo, mask foo. Driving Academy Award nominations for Al Berry as the blubbering escapee who kicks the story off by screaming, they're coming, even though no one's coming. Dick Durock as gray-suited android numero uno. Nancy Loomis as the nagging ex-wife for saying drinking and doctoring, great combination. Wendy Westberg as Teddy, the assistant coroner with a crush. Stacey Nelkin as the grieving daughter who trolls the bars looking for the doctor who treated her dead father, then vacations with him in a creepy small town for saying, relax, I'm older than I look. Dan O'Herlihy as the owner of the biggest mask company in the world. who makes speeches about our houses of wattle and clay and the alignment of the planets while planning to kill millions of children. Ralph Straight as Buddy, the plaid-jacketed toy store tourist. Brad Schachter as the 12-year-old victim. Garn Stevens as Marge, the bossy woman who gets lasered with a Stonehenge microchip while reading Carlos Castaneda. And of course, Tom Atkins as the divorced doctor with a drinking problem who wants to save the world and get laid, not necessarily in that order. I'm not going to give it a star rating till the night's over. You know, let the debate begin. Joe Bob says, check it out. Why do I feel like I'm going to lose?
Maybe because it's all these people cheering against you?
Yeah, okay. Just a feeling.
You already gave it a star rating way back in the day.
Really? What did I give it?
Half a star.
Oh, I did not.
Half a star, dude.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I don't think.
Boo. I feel like you've already lost.
Okay. I don't think that's true.
I'll show you.
Why do I feel like a bank robber who just got recognized from the wanted poster?
I don't really know what that means.
All right. Yeah.
Are we good? Or are you still talking?
No, I'm ready for my punishment.
Okay. So this became a different kind of show. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you ready?
What?
You're being forced to examine your soul right now. That's why it's super uncomfortable for you. That's my theory.
Aren't you being a little dramatic? Aren't you being a little dramatic?
I mean, I think this deserves some drama.
Okay.
I don't think I can be dramatic enough about this. This is serious. This is 40 years. Like, you have to pay for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Run the movie.
Okay. Are you really ready?